Colonel Sanders.
Hello, everyone. Hello. How are you doing tonight? Today? It's good to see everyone here. Now, I heard this fine young man's turning 80 today. Got a lot of friends and family here to see him. Really, I don't know what all the fuss is about, to be honest, after getting a good eye of him. But I'm glad to be here. I wrote a few words to speak on tonight. All right, folks, gather around. As y'all can clearly see, I've taken a little time away from my chicken empire today to celebrate something mighty important. The 80th birthday of a man who I may be so bold to say puts even the old Colonel Sanders here to shame. That's right, I'm talking about this fine young man here, Louis Polak. Louis Polak. Now, some folks might say turning 80 means slowing down. But let me tell you, this man didn't even hit his stride until most folks are already thinking about retirement. Much like myself, who didn't fry up his big break until well into his 60s, Lou found his sweet spot in his latest chapters of life. We both had humble beginnings. The Colonel had his gas station, and Lou had his dial-up modems and printer cables. Some of you might not know, but when his kids were young, he had a little company called World Links. While I was perfecting 11 herbs and spices, he was perfecting customer service so good it could make a grown man cry. And while I was franchising chicken, he was franchising values, like loyalty, hard work, and always leaving folks better than he felt. Here! Now, I may be wearing a fancy white suit today, but Lou, he wore something even more powerful: consistency. Every Saturday, like clockwork, I heard he would get his kids donuts. Not just any donuts, they were called Dad Donuts. The kind that taste better because you knew they came with love and hopefully a little jellyfish. I mean, I personally like a little jellyfish. He didn't miss a beat, folks. Back pillow or not, rain or shine, tired or busy, he showed up. And he kept showing up over and over, because that's who he is. He made sure his family and friends knew they came first. And that's something no tech boom or algorithm can replace. Now, if y'all will indulge me for just a moment, I was handed a letter from his son, who happens to be my doppelganger. And I'd like to read it for y'all. I may poke a little fun, but I reckon there might be a few good fine words in here. All right, I'm going to read it from here, but just pretend I was handed a note. Dear Dad, you're not just a man to me, you are my hero. Cue for the alls. You've taught me that success doesn't have a deadline, that kindness is a choice you make every day. Showing up, truly being there is more important than any accolade. You lived your whole life with purpose, humor, and heart. And I hope I live mine the same way. Thank you for everything, and I love you. Let me tell you something. What kind of sounds like a kiss ass to me, but that was a pretty fine word. Now that was finger licking good, and if you weren't crying just a little bit, you might want to check your pulse or maybe your seasoning. So today we don't just celebrate 80 years, we celebrate a legacy. A man who aged like a fine bourbon or a cast iron skillet, better, stronger, and full of character. Happy birthday, Lou. You may not have your own fast food empire, but to us, you're the Colonel of our hearts. And remember, no matter how many candles are on your cake, you'll always be the one we look up to. Here!